Live from Augusta, you're watching News 12 at 6 o'clock.
And new at 6 o'clock, an I-team investigation into a former Wilkes County deputy and current Taliaferro County Sheriff's candidate. We take a closer look at a high-speed crash that injured a family of 3. But first up tonight, track troubles all over Augusta and some progress to report with some of those railroad crossings back open right now. Going to give you a live look over at Clawson Road. Some busy traffic is finally moving freely across that intersection. But this morning, several tracks here in Richmond County were able to reopen, including Riverwatch Parkway and Alexander Drive, and Riverwatch and Clawson Road as well. But there's still some work to be done on several crossings in Columbia County. Taylor Martin joining us now live from the railroad closure on St. Sebastian Way with a repair update. Taylor, take it away.
Well, CSX says they are not working on the railroad crossings at Industrial Park Drive and Henry McManus Road in Columbia County, but there are still multiple closures throughout Richmond County and Columbia County, and you're probably wondering which ones are going to impact your morning commute. In Richmond County, CSX expects the closure here at St. Sebastian Way to be closed for your drive to work tomorrow morning, as well as the closures in Richmond County at Stevens Creek Road near Riverwatch Parkway, 7th Street near Walton Way, 8th Street near Walton Way, and in Columbia County, closures remain on Pleasant Home Road, Baston Road, Iron and Steel Drive, and Hightower Drive. Now, CSX said these closures could take anywhere from 3 to 5 days, but as we see, the Riverwatch Parkway intersection and Clawson Road open back up sooner than we expected. But we will keep you updated as we learn more about what the time frame is going to look like for these closures to open back up.
Yeah, it's a lot of work happening all at once. Taylor, thanks for the update there on the progress. To other now, to give you a live look at Augusta's Medical District and check in with
90 degrees out there for Friday. Have a look at a cooler weekend, also those rain chances in just about 10 minutes.
Thanks, Riley. The suspects wanted a connection for an apartment shooting in Allendale are in custody. The Allendale Police Department says Mario Williams, Willie Williams, and Kendall Nix all turned themselves in yesterday. Investigators say the suspects tried to break in before shooting into an apartment after a disagreement about kids who were fighting getting off the school bus. Nix is only charged with accessory after the fact. They also arrested Megan Carter and Deandra Yeomans, who turned herself in. Investigators say Yeomans and Carter had full knowledge of the crime and then failed to notify law enforcement. Some breaking news out of Rennes to tell you about. Investigators on the scene of a bank robbery there. This is the Regions on Broad and Southeast Fleming Street. Details from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office say the call came in right around 1:45 this afternoon. They say one person entered the bank demanding an unknown amount of cash. No one was injured. No weapons were used. The GBI is over there right now. We have a reporter to bring us more details as soon as we can get them to you. Another top story tonight, a man wanted in connection to running over a 5-year-old in Emmanuel County is behind bars. The arrest comes after an hours-long search within county lines. Sydney Hood is near Swainsboro with this update.
You don't see or hear much on these dirt roads. That wasn't the case on Outler Circle 24 hours ago.
There was no intent in this. It was purely an accident. The 5-year-old, from my understanding, climbed up in the back of the truck, and as he was leaving, the child fell.
But it's what happens next the sheriff believes is a crime.
And then he ran over him, and he stopped and went around and moved the child. And my understanding at this time, then he got in the truck and left. And another young man that was at the scene that was a witness picked the child up and carried him to the hospital.
Sheriff Brewer says he happened to have deputies at the hospital.
He was treated here locally, stabilized, and then transferred to an Augusta hospital where I spoke to his mother a short time ago, and she said that he was doing very well.
And the person that police say hit him is now behind bars. Deputies found him on the other side of the county, and it took both Emmanuel and Johnson County deputies to find him.
We have a very close, good working relationship with all the sheriffs in the state. You know, we can just make a phone call, and they'll help us out any way they can, and that proved so last night.
And hopefully these quiet roads can go back to being quiet. In Emmanuel County, Sydney Hood, on your side.
And the little boy was thought to be critical at first, so it's good to hear that he's making a fast recovery there. A murder suspect in jail after a deadly shooting at an East Boundary apartment complex in Augusta. That victim is 28-year-old Wanya Ryan. Richmond County deputies arresting 34-year-old Cornelius Sims today. They say he fired several shots in the living room of the apartment yesterday morning. Also tonight, the Aiken County coroner identifying the victim found dead in the front porch of a Warrenville home. The coroner's office says 52-year-old Joseph Keenan Sr. will be autopsied tomorrow to find the cause of death. The sheriff's office responded yesterday after someone passing by called about seeing a body on the front porch of the home there. New tonight, the I-Team looking into another police pursuit in Georgia that ended with a deputy hitting a family of three. This time it happened in Wilkes County. The I-Team's Will Rio is digging into the deputy's past and why the only video of this crash came from a nearby business.
Well, now former Wilkes County Deputy Sean O'Kelly has been terminated from the department since that crash in early January. We found this deputy has a pattern of problems with other law enforcement agencies, and we found he's running for the highest position in local law enforcement.
Georgia 10 bypass in Washington, Georgia. The only source of light comes from the TPS truck stop and emergency vehicle lights.
We need police out here, maybe an ambulance. There's been a wreck out here in front of TPS. It looks like an overturned car. It looks like a two-car collision.
911 calls pour into county dispatch.
I think we need help out here right now.
Wilkes County Deputy Sean O'Kelly T-bones a family as they leave the truck stop.
It's a wreck right here on the bypass, right here in front of TPS. It's two cars, I can see.
Reports and surveillance videos shine light on the accident. January 6 at the TPS truck stop, Deputy O'Kelly is seen in his unmarked patrol car. The car he would later hit also there. Deputy O'Kelly is then seen leaving. The Georgia State Patrol says Deputy O'Kelly started driving southbound on Georgia 10 when he says he clocked a car going 90 in the opposite direction. Crossing the median, he begins a chase. Back at the truck stop, the family of three gets in their car, backs out, and heads towards Georgia 10 to leave. You can see the first vehicle at the top of the screen speeding by. The family pulls out, and Deputy O'Kelly's car comes into frame.
All units, be advised, you've been right north bypass in front of TPS. There's 50 rollover.
This is the only video of the crash, and it's too dark to see the crash happen. That's because Deputy O'Kelly did not turn on his lights and siren, meaning his dash cam never activated. A report by the Wilkes County Sheriff's Office says Deputy O'Kelly was going 111 miles per hour, more than double the speed limit. Deputy O'Kelly was fired for violating the pursuit policy. According to Georgia Post, O'Kelly is currently under investigation for an incident in 2021. At that time, he was with the Taliaferro County Sheriff's Office. And that's also where Deputy William O'Kelly is now running for sheriff. His slogan, Experience Matters. Records show O'Kelly's experience includes working for at least 7 law enforcement agencies, all since 2001. He's been fired from 5 of them. He avoided being fired from a 6th by agreeing to resign. The I-Team sent open records requests to all 6 agencies asking for O'Kelly's personnel file. His file from the Morgan County Sheriff's Office says O'Kelly was fired while on probation. No reason is listed for the probation, and no disciplinary reports are in his file. And it wasn't until we received his personnel file from the Taliaferro County Sheriff's Office that we found stacks of issues Morgan County failed to include. Performance evaluations. O'Kelly lacks knowledge with state traffic laws. Emails. O'Kelly conducted a traffic stop in a county where he does not have authority. Greene County Sheriff's Office. O'Kelly resigned instead of being fired. For what? The file doesn't say. Also, entire pages redacted concealing what his time with the Greene County Sheriff's Office was like.
Wilkes County 911.
But back to that night in Wilkes County. Car parts and tire tracks pieced together the story of the crash.
I got an accident right out here in front of the TPS. They're in the ditch now.
And add to a pattern of bad judgment that's moved from agency to agency throughout Georgia.
Now, we reached out to William Sean O'Kelly about that accident and running for sheriff in Taliaferro County. He told us he cannot give us comment at this time about the accident, but says it was an unfortunate situation and that he's glad no one was injured. A GSP crash report shows the family involved in that crash was taken to AU, Post records show O'Kelly has not had any pursuit training since 2017. We requested dash cam video from GSP. They say they can't release that because of an active criminal investigation. Our I-team reached out to the family involved in that accident, but we have not heard back yet.
It may be a miracle they were not injured that night. Will Rio with an eye-opening investigation. Will, thanks very much. Riley?
Well, we are going to stay dry and beautiful over the next couple of days, but bringing back some rain chances late this week and into early next week. We'll have that full forecast coming up.
And are you craving an all-star special? Next in One Tank Trips, we take you to the Georgia suburb that's home to the world's very first Waffle House.
Time and temp.
Beautiful weather over the next couple of days, and tomorrow is Groundhog Day. I believe Punxsutawney Phil may not be able to see his shadow with some clouds up there tomorrow, but for us here locally, it will feel like spring for tomorrow.
And we'll see what General Lee has to say about all that. Riley, thanks. Smothered, covered, capped, and peppered. If you love Waffle House, you know what it all means. Across the nation, it's just hard to miss that iconic yellow sign. But did you know it all started right here in Georgia, and it's on full display at a museum in Decatur. Will Volk takes us there for this week's One Tank Trip.
It all started here.
This is actually a replica of the very first Waffle House location that was in this very spot.
It's been a Waffle House, a mom and pop diner, and even a Chinese restaurant. Kelly Bruner says about 20 years ago, Waffle House bought it back.
When we celebrated our 50th anniversary in 2005, we thought it would be a cool idea to redesign the space to look as though it did in 1955.
The founders helped make this a time capsule to the 50s. $1.50 filet mignon. Good luck finding that these days. Prices may have changed, but a lot is still the same.
We have most of the same items. We have a few additions, but we kind of stick with what we know.
Waffle House has done a really great job of keeping everything they've ever used.
On the other side of the building is a museum filled with old mugs, menus, uniforms, and more.
Anything you'd like to know about Waffle House, it's probably in here.
Now, if you know Waffle House, you know they have jukeboxes with songs about the Waffle House. Let's see if this old one works. Dancing to songs about waffles, Robo, on your side.
A one-man dance party right there in the Waffle House. But unlike real Waffle Houses, they're not open 24/7. If you want to visit the museum there, you need to set up that tour in advance or go where they're having an open house. We do have a link to sign up on our website. Will, thanks for that. The Lakeside girls basketball team one win away from making school history. We're going to hear from the Panthers on the importance of that milestone and their goal of doing some damage in the playoffs. It's all I have tonight in sports.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group. Where bad for you.
A breaking news update for you on that bank robbery I mentioned at Rennes. If you're just joining us, investigators say the crime happened around 1:45 today at the Regions on Broad in southeast Fleming Street there in Rennes. They say one person entered the bank demanding 100s, 50s, and 20s, but the total amount is not known. Investigators say the man jumped the counter and actually went through the cash drawer himself, then got into another vehicle and drove away with other people. No one was injured, no weapons were used, but the GBI is there now, along with the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, and the FBI was there earlier with this. We're tracking the story. We'll bring you more details as we get them.
On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
Anytime a team puts themselves in a position to break a school record, it usually means that team is moving in the right direction. After being knocked out in the first round of the playoffs last year, the Lakeside girls basketball team has come back with a vengeance, putting themselves in a position to win their region title. The Lady Panthers have tallied up multiple impressive wins this season, and by defeating Grovetown on Tuesday night, they won their 18th game of the season, which is tied for the most wins in a single season in the history of the Lakeside girls basketball program.
We've done a lot of stuff to get here. Like, we put in hard work for it. It's not like it was just handed to us. And to go 18-5 from last year to now, I think that's a great accomplishment for us. At practice, we know each other and where we're going to be and stuff like that. So it makes us understand, like, we got each other. on every part of the court.
We can't get big heads yet because we haven't really accomplished nothing yet until we win like region, of course, and then make it to state playoffs and win.
Setting a high bar and standard for yourself is a big part of having success. First-year head coach Matt Scott says he's proud of the growth he's seen from his team throughout the season. The Panthers will continue region play on Saturday at South Effingham.
All right, thanks for that, Dan. Enjoy the warm weather while it lasts tomorrow. We are expecting highs close to 70 degrees Friday, but temperatures will drop just a little bit below average this weekend and early next week. Have another quick look at that 7-day forecast just after break.
To come on the air with Tim Strong. Ask your parents to go to wrdw.com/sketchthesky for more details. Sponsored by Hobbytown Augusta.
We all know our communities aren't perfect, but reporting on problems is just half the story. It takes commitment and compassion for all of us to come together and work towards finding a solution. That's the part of my job at News 12 I love the most, when we can identify a problem, but then work together to find out how to fix it. We all want our kids to have a good education, access to health care, safe neighborhoods, so we can all grow together. Our communities are so diverse, but we all have that one thing in common. This is where we call home.
Coming up on the CBS Evening News, all reporting on America's fentanyl crisis. We go on a ride-along with Portland police as Oregon's most populous city struggles with rising overdoses and addiction. That and more headlines tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Remember, later tonight, you can check out the International Space Station. This is going to be passing over the CS array starting at 7:09 p.m. Going to start in the northwestern sky, but going to be more visible once it gets closer to the eastern sky. Only going to last about 4 minutes, but you can set that alarm for 7:09 and look up. Should be great to check that out. Hopefully the clouds don't ruin the show. I think we should still be able to see it. Here's our temperatures heading into tomorrow. It is going to be a chilly start again, waking up in the 30s, but afternoon high temps getting close to 70 degrees for most spots in the CS array. So a lot of sunshine by the afternoon and looking to be beautiful out there. Here's our setup heading into the weekend. So we are going to hang on to dry weather Saturday, but as we push later into our Sunday, that's when the rain chances do start to go up. Now, the rain, honestly, Sunday should hold out until we get to after sunset. So it's really going to be Sunday night into Monday. We have those much higher rain opportunities for us here locally. Quick look at the 7-day again. We are going to see nice weather stick around through Saturday. Cloudy and cooler Sunday before that rain arrives Sunday night.
Riley, thanks. We're live at the top of the hour over on 26 for 26 News. We hope to see you there. If not, we'll check in again here at 11. Have a great evening, and we'll see you then.
At the CBS Evening News, we focus on solutions, finding solutions to help people understand what are the right choices to make for you and your family.